Black Women of SaaS Sales is enabling and empowering Black women to start, grow, and succeed in SaaS sales. We have Lena with us, who is the founder of BWOSS.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining in, Lena.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Super excited to talk to you.
Awesome. So just to start off with, like, why don't you tell us what exactly are you building at BWOSS?
So Black Women of SaaS Sales started as and is a P2P group designed to create an inclusive space for Black women who are in tech sales to come to, have a sense of community amongst ourselves, but also be able to enable each other's success. So our motto and mantra is actually each one teach one. So we offer mentorship program with that mentality of essentially between me, the advisor, and a few other mentors, mentoring mentees and just being able to pass on our knowledge, share our knowledge, and empower and enable those women to then grow and succeed in their sales careers too, with the intent of having this essentially going to create like a talent pipeline, right, of Black women who are just going to go out into the tech sphere and just crush it. And that's what our hope is as of right now. That's what we're working towards.
Okay. And was there a reason behind choosing like tech sales in particular?
Yeah. So I've worked in various sales roles, doing door-to-door sales for a little bit, as well as tech sales, and then doing different things like phone sales for real estate companies. And tech sales was always a little bit different because, well, first and foremost, it is kind of like the new fad that everyone's going into, and it is becoming a predominant industry. And then secondly, tech is a lot more inclusive and diverse than other sales spheres. So to bring that diversity and representation component even more so to tech sales, I think is very important, especially as Black women and women of color, to make our mark in this arena. And like I said, like you just go in and you crush it, and you ensure that, you know, you send the elevator back down, you help another woman do the exact same thing.
Right. Understood. Yeah. Okay. And how exactly did you embark on this journey? Like, how did the idea come up? Have you been working on it for quite a few years now, or is it a recent one?
So initially, this was last year actually. Okay. So I was interviewing with different tech companies, both locally and a little bit out of like the local sphere.
Right.
And I would sit in these interviews and I'd look around me, and it was just like a sea of white men everywhere. You had sprinkles of white women, a couple of token people of color. And then I thought to myself, this isn't okay. Like, this is just not acceptable.
Right.
So I started reaching out to other Black people and people of color within the tech sales sphere and just asking them, you know, what is your experience? What was your journey? How are you feeling? And how did you feel? You know, and just kind of share and connect on that level. And the feedback that I had consistently got was there was no representation of us anywhere. So they felt like a token, or they felt very excluded from kind of like a cross-cultural understanding between people. And that inclusivity piece they felt didn't encompass them within it. So I thought, okay, I'm not one to complain and not take action. It's just, I'm a very much solution-based thinker. And if there's a problem, it doesn't sit very long. Let's just say that. So I thought, okay, what am I going to do about this? And I started looking into different P2P groups. And there are P2P groups that were for women of color or people of color, but nothing specifically for Black women. And at this time, you know, there's different things happening in the political arena, human rights arena. And I knew that all of us were not only feeling a sense of loneliness and lacking representation in terms of our workspace, but then we were also dealing with emotional battles
Mm-hmm.
with everything that's going on in the world.
For sure.
So I thought, okay, this is it. I'm going to start this P2P group, and I'm going to make it exclusive for Black women to create the safe space for us to come together,
Mm-hmm.
connect, chat, grow together. And I ended up reaching out to my mentor, Hannah Hessen, who's the CEO of Black Maple.io, and I said, okay, this is the problem. This is what I think the solution is. What do you think we should do? And she's just like, that's dope. Let's do it. And then from there, it was just like, I'd say it's been running a marathon of just getting everything done that needs to get in place. We just had our first event last week or the week before, which was successful, and a lot of people got to take away like value and information, I think, that really helps them understand more of a Black woman's journey in the tech space, especially within the tech sales space. And now we're working on our second event, which is about Black mental health in the workspace. Okay. And we're working with Crescendo on that, and they're a diversity inclusion software company, and they're going to be helping us with that and being a panelist. And then apart from that, as of right now, we're also working on that mentorship piece. So our hope is we have all the moving parts going, and then eventually everything will actually come together and be able to add the value that we seek to add, and then create the impact that we're working towards for Black women.
Sure, it's a beautiful initiative, and yeah, thanks a lot from like my side and all the people who would be listening to it in the future, like for starting something in this regard. And in terms of mentorship, so have you already got like mentors on board, and on the other side, people, Black women especially, who are looking to get into tech sales?
Yeah, 100%. Right now we're at 3 mentors,
Okay.
excluding myself. And we're about 4 mentees. Okay. And it's interesting. Like, again, there's just a collective understanding of each other's journeys. And there's different intersectional points where we're all very unique human beings and very unique journeys, obviously, as being human beings with different experiences. But there's points to which we all understand, whether it's, talking about racism or feeling excluded, or feeling like you're not being able to reach out and get the help that you need. But it's always helpful to be able to get it from someone who identifies the way you identify, can understand your language, can understand where you're coming from, can understand your joys, but also understand your heartaches, and building those bridges between us to really empower each other and keep going.
Yeah. And what are some of the? It's a small set of mentees, but have you seen something in common that has come out of your interactions with mentees till now?
We're all hungry. That's it. Like, none of the women that we mentor, and even members who are not necessarily being mentored but are just in the group, we all have a hunger, drive, and fire to not just succeed but to thrive. And the other piece to this all is going back to this idea of collectivism. We all understand that we're in this together, and we all understand that we have a beautiful journey ahead of us that involves spreading this to other people and creating a lasting impact, and not thinking the short term. So those are definitely the commonalities, and I love it. I love connecting with each member who comes in, and just seeing that fire and being able to go, oh, okay, so it's not just me. I see it in other people too. Is absolutely fantastic. Yeah.
Okay. And how has the support been from the community in general? Like you mentioned, you have got support from companies like Crescendo, who are doing a great job in the field of diversity and inclusion. So have other companies also come forward to support your vision?
So Women Tech Makers Waterloo is a huge supporter. And then Black Maple.io, who's the CEO, is the advisor. And then as of right now, also Crescendo. And we're constantly working on creating partnerships It's all about finding that right fit, right? So ensuring that our values are intact and also that our missions align. So we're fairly new and obviously growing. Um, yeah, but outside of partnerships, I'd say the way people have been reacting has been fantastic to see. Genuinely, like uh, it's made us realize that the demand was there before we even, like, we knew it was there because we were experiencing it, but it's growing and we can see that other people are now cluing in. I get a call from the UK or from the States of someone being like, this is amazing, we needed this. And you're just like, wow, you don't realize that what you're doing is going to reach so many people and impact so many people in such a beautiful way that they now feel like they're part of something bigger than just being able to hit KPIs or being a part of OKRs or whatever it may be. So yeah, it's been beautiful. It's been fantastic to be part of it.
Okay. And as of now, are you keeping the perimeter within Canada or North America, or like it's wide open?
So membership wise, it's worldwide.
Okay.
As of right now, in terms of who we're reaching, it's usually North America. Although at our last event, we did have someone from the UK there. So I think it's one of those situations where we're going to see chapters opening up, probably in the States and the UK. And then we just build towards that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where do you see a BWOSS in next, say, 6 to 12 months period? What are the projects that are there in the pipeline for you?
So 6 to 12 months, we would love for our memberships to be probably sitting around like 100 mentors and mentees included in that number. And ideally, if COVID can magically go away, for us to be able to hold events physically. It's one thing to be able to hold events on Zoom, but I think that physical proximity to each other will be a key ingredient to our success. Yeah, so I'd put that out there. And then I think beyond that, for myself, it's very important that this is led by the mentees and by the members. I facilitate. So we are constantly having our finger on the pulse of the members and asking where they would want things to be in 6 to 12 months, where they would want things to be next week even, and what they want and what they're looking for. Because this isn't about me. This isn't about our partners. This is about Black women succeeding and Black women thriving. So it's hard to answer that question in all honesty, because it is so led by the members, mentees, and mentors. But I'll keep you updated.
Okay. And these events, so they are basically catered towards raising awareness, or do you have any other goals that you wish to fulfill through these events?
So it's not necessarily about raising awareness. It's about increasing representation, right? So the awareness is there. We know that, like, out of all of North America, women make 20% of sales reps. And that includes BDRs, AEs, you name it. So Black women and women of color would then be a fraction of that fraction. So how do we go from being a small number to being the norm? That it's normal to see a Black woman on your sales team, Black women on your sales team, however they identify with their gender or whatever their intersectionality is, that no one would fret about it or would even look at that. So that is the ultimate goal, is to really fill spaces with our community, and to have that community bring real value to companies. And that's that portion, that's that piece that makes the mentorship piece so important to the whole BWOSS community, is ensuring that the talent that we are sending out into the tech community is talent that that would surpass any expectation.
Okay.
Yeah.
And lastly, Lena, so at Epic, we are also trying to connect you with the community, especially with early stage startups. You always have certain challenges where you wish someone can come on board and help you, maybe on a part-time contract basis, or just give you some advice in areas in which they have expertise in. So are you facing any challenges right now where you would love to get some external help?
No, I think again, this is very much led. This is very grassroots and very led by the members and the mentors and the mentees. So the progression doesn't need to be fast. It doesn't need to be on an accelerator where we're running a sprint. This is a marathon. Right. So when the time comes for more partnerships to happen or more community recognition to happen, it'll come on its own, and it'll come not from a place of us searching for it, rather our members, mentors, mentees, really being able to, I don't want to say attract it, but to just champion BWOSS to the point where people will come to us. And I have no doubt in that. But like I said, there's no rush, and this isn't a sprint. This is a full-on marathon, and thinking long-term, thinking legacy-driven and longevity in that sense.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot, Lena. This I've heard like a lot of amazing story, but this stands out, and it's at another level altogether. And well, thanks a lot again for doing that, for taking this initiative, for taking an action, and starting something in this regard. I'm sure you would see great success in it. And as you mentioned, like it is a marathon, so let's keep running.
Yeah, there's no rush. You do quality over quantity. That's my big thing, and I think that's how we really fill that talent pipeline with exceptional human beings who can do exceptional work. As soon as you start running the sprint, you lose sight of what's important. So, and what's important is representation, is Black joy, Black excellence, and really watching Black women thrive, succeed, and become champions of their own stories in life and in business.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed this.